Hello everyone and welcome to Jiska Academy. So in this tutorial we're going to talk about the graph state variable. So in the previous tutorial we have seen the variable switch. So the graph state variable is another format of selecting the different switches using the variables but in a different way. So basically how things work with graph state variable is, so in the in the variable switch, so we use the variable set node in order to select the switches, and in graph state variable, so you don't have to create a variable set node, and you can use a different way that can select different switches globally. So you can set you know the variable set node is pretty much the local control. Let's say if you have a multiple place, you assign the variable switch here. So if you want to select the variable a particular switch here, so you can create a different variable switch here, and you can create a different variable set here. But in the graph state variable, so everything is globally selected using a different controls here. So you can see here the same way that I have created in the previous example. I have a different variables here, so you can choose between different inputs and different variables. So basically, in order to work with graph state variable is, so let's say I'm just going to explain everything from here. So I'm just going to create a variable switch here. So yeah, it's a pretty common thing. So I'm just going to create three different ports here, and then connect everything to the corresponding ports here. Oops. Yeah, so now you can see here the same way. I'm just going to create a variable called test, and then I'm going to assign a different value here. Gnome, pony, and then teapot. Yeah, so now I have assigned three different stuffs here, and now you can see here at this moment it selects the first input, as we already seen. Now what we have to do is, instead of using the variable set, I'm going to create the graph state variable, so it will work globally. So in order to select the graph state variable, you need to go to project settings. If you can't see the project settings here, so you can click this little drop down, and then you can select the project settings from here. And now you can see here, so this is the variables. This is the place we define our global variables. So here you need to select this graph state variable and add variable, so you can rename your variable here. So basically this is the name of our variable, so let's call this test here, and then we need to assign different values here. So we need to type our values one by one. Now you can see here we have something called test here. Now you can export, click this and you can open here. You can see our variable entry here or test, and you can see our input here, the variable value. And the same way, I'm just going to do this, and then I'm going to add another one here. Now you can see here we have the pony and gnome here. Now you can select here. So this is the power of graph state variable. So you don't have to create a variable set everywhere here and there, and it works globally across this scene. So wherever you call this, and it automatically selects everywhere. So you can use hundreds of variable switches, and you can just call from here, and it will select all those switches corresponding inputs. So this is very, very powerful. So and I'm going to create the final one. Yeah, cool. So now you can see here we have three different inputs here, so you can see, you can select whatever that you want. And the same way, let's see how things are working in a short based environment. So let's say I have the same three different inputs. So I have a static geometry here, and then I have a animation, then I have animation 2. So yeah, the same way, now I'm going to read it from here, and then choose the camera. Now you can see here I'm going to select the camera for the first one. So front, it automatically select the front, and top, perspective. The same way, if you want to select a different shot, at this moment it is still. So you can see here we don't have any animation, so you can use this for look there, and then I have a short one. So basically, the camera namings are different, so that it doesn't automatically select the camera here. So you can switch the camera here. You can use a different render settings node, and you can assign the camera automatically here. So at this moment, it automatically chooses the render settings and camera for render, but it doesn't select in the viewport. Let's say I'm just going to start the live render, so you don't have to choose the camera manually. So yeah, now you can see here the same way. I'm just going to select the shot 2. Basically, you need to restart the live render. Now you can see here, so everything is pretty much working fine. So yeah, uh, that's it for the graph state variable. So if you don't want any graph state variables, you can just simply go to your project setting and you can delete it. So yeah, you can click and delete the input. So yeah, that's it for the graph state variable. So in the next tutorial, we are going to start talk about the variable enable group. So yeah, thanks for watching.